I grew up listening to my parents talk about the recession from the early 90s, and whenever times were tough, they say, "You think that's bad? This is what happened in the early 90s." We now know that this is worse. This is a period where Australians will tell their children, their grandchildren, about what it was like economically at this period of time. 7 quarters of GDP per capita negative growth. That's what matters. There's only 2 reasons we're not in a technical recession. One is that this government has cranked migration, and we're both from the state of Victoria, where there's 100,000 people in the MCG. We've had 15 MCGs of growth of people migrating to this country in this term of government. The other is government spending, and Julian gave 3 reasons, and he totally left out government spending. The RBA has told us that that is the reason why inflation is higher for longer and why Australians are suffering. This government doesn't know how to manage money, and Australians are having to make up that by managing theirs, and they're hurting. Well, we hear this again and again from the talking points from the government, which is that when you can look at the causes of inflation, or you can just focus on the symptoms. And this government always goes to the symptoms. They never address the cause. And when they look at the symptoms, the answer is always the same. Here's more of your own money back to you, and you should be very grateful for it. But for every $10 the government gives people back in subsidies, there's another 100 that they're losing in moving through higher income taxes through bracket creep, higher prices at the grocery checkout, higher prices for energy. At every time, the government has one job, which is to bring government spending back, and their answer is to crank government spending. And so Australians, there must be a better way, and it's not this government.
Why did they vote for higher migration? Why do they vote against cost of living help for people as inflation's coming down?
You turn the parliament into performative theatre. You accuse the Greens of doing that, but here's what you do every time. We will never vote for a bad bill, and that was a bad bill.
International
so you're looking for the headline, you're looking for the theatre of who votes where on what.